Good morning and happy Wednesday. I hope this finds you really well, and I am so grateful to show up here for Wellness Wednesday. If you're not currently following or subscribed to my channel, please push it below. That way you get notifications on Wednesdays when these awesome videos come out. So I'm here, my name is Robin Lee, and I am a medical intuitive. I've been doing my job for over 32 years, working with people all over the world, helping them understand how to heal their body from the inside out, meaning from their lifestyle and the choices they make and the belief systems that they hold, how that affects their health and how that affects their overall wellness in their body, their mind, and their spirit. It's a really great job that I have, and I feel so blessed to be able to be here and share with each and every one of you. It is a very powerful time that we're living in, and it is a time where it's very easy to feel overwhelmed. It's very easy to feel overwhelmed. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today is if you're feeling constantly overwhelmed, all the more reason to make sure that you stop and you take 1 minute to just take slow, big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So when I say take a big, deep breath, most people will go, a big deep breath is like this. And then you hold it for a couple of counts. So I'm still holding it, and then you exhale out. Then I breathe in. And I hold it, and then I exhale out. And I do that for about a minute, feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or chaotic. Now, one of the first things the brain will always do when you feel pressured or stressed is, I don't have the time to do that. It's not true, and you actually do have the time to take 1 minute and stop and breathe. If you don't consciously have 1 minute to stop and breathe, I'm going to ask you to really think about the quality of life that you're creating for yourself. This is a very important thing to think about. It's a very important thing to take personal responsibility about. Why don't you have a minute where you can stop and breathe? What is so important in your life that you've been focused on, hyper-focused on creating, that you don't have a minute as much as you need that minute, as many times in a day as you need that, to be able to stop and to reset? You can't be anxious and consciously breathe at the same time. You can't feel overwhelmed and consciously breathe at the same time. So people oftentimes say, I don't like how I'm feeling, and we talk about how to adjust the sails, but that represents change, and it represents personal responsibility. It's such a turn-off word to a lot of people. A lot of people have gotten to where they've diagnosed themselves, or they've been diagnosed with anxiety, or they've been diagnosed with a constant state of overwhelm. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's fine to have these diagnoses, and I'm not saying that it's not true for you. But I am going to ask you if you're making the changes in your life that would be required for you to have more joy and connection in your life. It's okay to take breathing room for yourself. You cannot feel anxiety and you cannot feel overwhelm and consciously deep breathe at the same time. So if you take several times in a day, and you're going to resist it, because when you resist it, that means you're making a change. That means you're changing gears. That means you're stopping and resetting. As you stop and choose to reset, you're worthy of having that experience for yourself. You're uncomfortable, you're overwhelmed, you're anxious. You are worthy of changing gears. You are worthy of taking that one moment to stop, to breathe, and to reset. But this is the thing that I'm going to tell you again. Most of you breathe in and breathe out, and you're like, yeah, okay, I did my breath. Okay, now what? It's a full minute of conscious breathing, slowly, deeply in, holding it, and exhaling slowly and deeply out. and allowing yourself to keep your eyes open, put your phone away so you're not distracted for that minute, and just slow, big, deep breaths in through the nose, holding it, holding it, holding it, and exhaling out through the mouth. It's so critical to slow that breath down in the healing process. There are a lot of people that I work with all over the world where we'll do breath work together in a session, and their breath pattern is so fast. And they're wondering because they're doing all the right stuff. And I think what it is sometimes is we've learned that we could do more. And if we do more, that fixes so much. But when it comes to overwhelm and anxiety, doing less is sometimes the magical key, and slowing down is absolutely the incredible key. All right. So overwhelm and anxiety are two things that I'm noticing are on the forefront of a lot of people's emotional process these days. People find that they're not mentally able to settle. They feel this angst inside of themselves. And a lot of people try to figure out why. It's fine to try to figure out why. And there's definitely lifestyle things that cause that type of emotion. Some of us do have chemistry issues that can create that, hormonal issues that can create that. But for most of us, it comes from not giving ourselves enough organic space and time to actually breathe. So if I come over and I put my hand on your mouth, are you going to relax, or are you going to start to have tension and stress and eventually start pushing back? The reality is you're going to start pushing back. You're going to start having anxiety because you're going to be afraid that you're not going to be able to survive and be able to take that next breath. The busier you make yourself without enough proper downtime for your particular system and body and spirit, the harder it is to feel more in alignment with yourself. So if you can get into a habit of even just putting on music for a minute, right? And setting, again, put it on do not disturb so you're not hearing any kind of dings coming in from email and text and whatnot. And you let yourself just focus on breathing slowly in, holding it, holding it, holding it, and exhaling out. You're going to start to notice a difference. I'm not saying you're going to be anxiety free, but you are going to start to notice a huge difference in how you can control how deep you go in that particular feeling. There is a reason we have every feeling that we have. So the goal isn't for me as a intuitive healer to change what you're feeling or to transform what you're feeling, because your body is sharing information for a reason. And that's the thing, right? In the healing process, instead of thinking, I don't like this and I want to change it, it's more of, what are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to help me understand? Why is the symptom coming up? People just don't think like that. So when it comes to anxiety and overwhelm, a couple of things, but the main thing is am I taking enough time for me? Am I giving myself permission to think about what I really want before I say yes to this and before I say yes to that? Am I breathing and letting myself feel calm and relaxed and pressured? Last night for me was a perfect example. I'm laying in bed, my heart starts to race, and I'm like, wow, what's that happening? Why is that happening? So I put my hand here, I did my breathing for a full minute, and then I asked, like, what's going on? It's like, I'm feeling stressed. About what? I don't know. All right, cool. Well, I didn't know what it was stress, but I breathed enough to relax, to be able to allow me, when I relax, oftentimes insight comes, and it's like, oh, I'm going to go take a little magnesium and I'm going to be able to fall asleep tonight. I woke up this morning and I felt kind of like tense. So I know what it feels like to feel relaxed. And a lot of people have gotten so disconnected, they don't even know what it feels like to be relaxed. So this is a good little tip and advice. Before you get out of bed, number one, take a good minute and just slowly deep breathe, just like we did. Allow yourself to focus on gratitude for waking up another day. It's something basic most of us take for granted, but the truth is we didn't have to wake up today, and there'll be a day we don't get to wake up. So I would love you to, before you give your energy, your time, your focus to anything, before you check your text, before you check the market, before you check your email, give yourself a minute to just be and feel. Breathing in, holding, and then exhaling out for a full minute, and then begin your day. Focus on gratitude. I'm so grateful that I got to open up my eyes today and I get to hear whatever's going on around me, and I can feel the bed underneath me. I can hear the wind chimes around me. Focus on all the things in the moment to be grateful for, and then breathing in, holding, and exhaling out. When you wake up and you go straight to the coffee, straight to the messages, straight to the chore list, You wonder why at 3 or 4 you feel anxious. Your body's like, hello, did we get to enjoy anything today? Hello, it's another day of my life going by. It's an important thing to remember. Sometimes this pressure and this anxiety and this overwhelm comes because it's like our soul inside is waiting to just enjoy life, but we don't give ourselves permission to do that because we're so busy paying the bills and doing what we're supposed to do and this and that. How can you simplify your life? And it starts with one simple thing. You can't just think things and get answers normally because they're just created in the same thought process and structure of being busy and overwhelmed all the time. So if you start your morning with that experience, you'll notice if you're consistent with that, it makes a huge difference in your day. There's other things you can do in the morning too, but that's a great simple thing to start with. Then throughout the day, if you actually are conscious, like, wow, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. Dang, I'm feeling really anxious right now. I'm going to take 1 minute and I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb and I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to hold and hold and hold. I'm going to exhale out. I'm going to do that for 1 full minute and that will reset me so I feel more calm and relaxed in the moment. So for me, before I close my eyes, I say to myself, I am going to close my eyes. I'm going to do some deep breathing. And in 1 minute, I will feel more calm and relaxed and present in this moment. I will feel less anxious and less overwhelmed. And it happens every single time. I would love you all to try it. I would love you all to share this if you know of anybody that you think this could touch their heart and this could help the quality of their life. You see things in your life for a reason. It's one of the first things I was taught as a medical intuitive. A medical intuitive, I work intuitively. I notice subtleties. Most of us notice, but most of us don't honor. So if you honor the subtleties around you, there's constant clues being given every day around us about what can help us create more joy and a better quality of life. If we're not feeling healthy in our bodies, there's a reason for that. Start your day off on a conscious note. I am so grateful that I woke up today. I'm going to create stillness at the beginning of this day by not answering my phone right away, by not doing my emails, by not checking the market, but by closing my eyes, breathing in, holding, exhaling out for a full minute. And as I do that, I will feel more calm, I will feel more at peace and more relaxed. When you get into a constant habit of doing this, in the afternoon, in the morning, late morning, when you start to feel anxious, you're going to notice it. It's not going to be so normal. It's going to be a bit more uncomfortable. And then you're going to remember to breathe. And as you remember to breathe, that's where you're going to become more comfortable again. So your body's just trying to remind you to pay more attention to it. The better you have this attitude of what is my body trying to tell me, the better your healing process will go. I'm going to talk about this more next week. All right. All right. Subscribe below if you haven't yet so that you can get notified for next week's video.